Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Lunch Table Sports. I'm Big Teist, joined by Trev, Saya, Dimaj, and Bushy here on this side. And then Dilly, of course, joining us via Zoom.
Again,
there
once again.
On the left. Dilly, how you doing?
I'm good. You know, we didn't quite make it to the criteria to get me back home, unfortunately, for episode 18.
Hey,
but here's the deal. Here's the deal, everybody. 3 more episodes of season 2, 3 more weeks to the finale, 50 subs on YouTube, 70 followers on Instagram, and we're doing an in-person fucking finale.
I think we can do
Let's
that.
go.
Y'all,
Come
y'all
on,
viewers,
3 weeks.
Y'all viewers, do your work.
3 weeks.
3 weeks. That's the deadline. But
go.
Boys, how we doing over here on this side of the screen? Trev?
Feeling good. We're feeling good.
Yeah.
Si's got that mic this way.
I'm doing pretty well. Thank you for asking.
Big vibing, bro. This weekend was kind of nice. I'm not gonna lie, it was a good ass weekend.
Good weekend for Dimaj.
Yeah. Also can't
Wasn't
complain.
Dimaj, you're kind of 0-2 this weekend, Dimaj. How are you feeling?
Yeah, it was rough. It was rough watching the
Kick
games. But
things
other
off.
than that, honestly,
You
good
guys
ass
are
weekend.
0-2 this weekend, bro.
Well,
Honestly, can't complain though. Living life, just chilling.
Yep, of course.
Vibing.
On the bright
Well,
side,
it's,
though, Dimaj.
it's been addressed, of course, as Dilly is referring to. The NBA finals are still in heat, as you would say. Going back and forth. The Celtics at one point up 2-1. I believe when we saw you viewers last, the Celtics were up 2-1, and now they are down 3-2 with a crucial must-win Game 6 coming in Boston on what? You would be seeing this on Wednesday. Is the game on Friday?
Thursday.
Dimaj, let me just say something before you start, right? So my dad and I have been betting all finals. We are 4 for 5 in bets made, and the only loss is when we bet on Jason Tatum to go over 26.5 points, and he only went for 23.
Yeah.
So with that being said, the Boston Celtics in elimination games this year have beaten the Bucks and the Heat on the road facing elimination. They're home. They're home in Game 6. And let's go. Let's fucking go.
Yeah,
Let's go.
Just objectively speaking, as much as I despise the Boston Celtics, I do think they'll win Game 6, but they really got to shore some things up. Starting, I think, most importantly with their fourth quarter offense. It's been very evident in the last 2 games, and the fact that you held Steph Curry to 0 for 9 from downtown and 16 points and still couldn't pull out a victory. That's a gift just wrapped up and handed to you, and you couldn't take advantage of it because he's not going to do that again. I don't think in the rest of Steph Curry's career you'll ever see a playoff game where he does not hit a single 3-pointer, especially in 9 attempts.
That was the first ever playoff game in Steph Curry's career where he did not make a single 3-pointer. And he's made a 3-pointer in 136 other playoff games. And there was also a streak going on. I think it was like 48 or something like that, where he had like multiple threes made consecutively in playoff games. And both of those snapped, and you guys lost by still 10 plus points. So holy shit, Dimaj.
Defense has never really been the issue for the Celtics. It's just that offense.
Right.
It's time for Jason Tatum to
Turn
wake up. I mean, what does he have? Like 6 fourth quarter points in the last 2 games combined. I mean, something really low like that. It's just it's time for your star players to like be stars. And obviously, this is their first time being in the finals. So it's not like they've been there before, like Steph and Clay and Draymond and Iggy, but it's just like,
hey, if Book can't do it,
I have confidence they can get it done at home, especially given like how they've responded in the playoffs this year to this point. But
Yeah, no, completely agree with that. I mean, I feel like we can all agree on a consensus that the Celtics are probably going to be playing in a Game 7. I mean, most likely they're going to win the 6th game. I know Saya's rooting against it. He wants it to be done, but I truly think the games have come down to the turnovers. The Celtics have been awful this series, the whole playoffs. in the finals with their turnovers. And in the 2 games they won, they still somehow found a win with all the turnovers. So the thing that I'm really looking for is them to even be under double digits, because the last game they had, I think, like 18 turnovers in total, 19 turnovers. It was awful. It was atrocious. So there's not much that I think defensively needs to change. I mean, when you hold the Warriors to low hundreds and even to the 90s, like, that's insane to me. So their defense isn't the problem. It hasn't been the problem. It's offensively, their field goal percentage honestly isn't even that bad either. It's the closing out the games and the fact that they can't control the ball when they need to. So if they can even tweak that a tiny bit, I think, one, they pull out game 6. I'm betting on that one. Game 7 away is probably going to be the hardest thing for me to watch. But honestly, game 7s have been in the Celtics' favor so far. So I'm just excited. I think it's going to be, it's still a great series. It's going to finish as a great series. So
No.
The Warriors coming in to the TD Garden to shut up all them Boston fans. That's what I think.
Ouch.
I think
Ouch.
I've always said this about Jason Tatum, and I said this back in like February. The worst thing about the Celtics when they're cold is Jason Tatum's shot selection. His shot selection is not great, and he's trying to do too much on when he's got to give it up. And I think that's been the downfall of these last 2 games. In the clutch, he cannot make a shot. You know what I mean? And then, what game 6 Clay does. That dude's coming for a vengeance on game 6. So you do got to be a little afraid. And again, Steph Curry is not going 0 for 9 again.
Yeah, no shot.
There's no way.
I saw a stat. I don't know if it's changed since the last time I saw it, but when the Celtics win, I think they average maybe 12 turnovers or less, even though it's a shit ton still. But that's when they win. And then the games that they lose in the playoffs, they've averaged 19 or higher. And then tying back into Jason Tatum play, it's funny because he's leading the playoffs in points. He's leading the playoffs in assists, but he also has the most turnovers ever in any playoff. So it's kind of weird, because Si's always talk about him trying to do too much. And whenever we watch games, he's like, is it going to be a Jason Tatum game where he, coughs up the rock? And then to DiMaggio's dismay, it happened last game, coughed up the rock a whole shit ton. So
Jason Tatum is very underwhelming. But no, I like Sai. Give me the dubs going into Boston. Steph Curry's seen the tweets. Klay Thompson knows what game it is. Draymond is probably gonna foul out again.
The fate of the universe is on the line.
Yeah, you got Iguodala out there.
He really is, though. It's just that veteran leadership.
And then just the 3-headed monster with Jordan Poole too. He's gonna have a game in Boston.
All right, here's a hypothetical for y'all. Do you think that no matter what happens in game 6, if the Warriors win, Steph is finals MVP, or do you think that it's still possibly up for debate?
Depends on the game 6.
I think it really depends on the game 6 and who pops off. I think if it's Wiggins who pops off again, has another 25-point double-double, it could very well go to Wiggins. But
it's like a Jorge Soler type shit.
So if for example, if the Warriors win game 6 in Boston and Wiggins is over 20 and Curry is under 20, do you think Curry will win finals MVP?
Yes.
Because he did have that one 47 burger or something in game 3, 4?
4.
So I don't know. I just
see, and that's what I'm saying.
It's not as much of a lock as you would want it to be for the situation that they're in. Because I feel like everybody at this point who's not a Celtics fan is kind of just rooting for Steph to get a finals MVP at this point. And that would be a damn shame if he didn't again, bro.
Well, yeah, but if the Celtics win, who's winning finals MVP? No one's really done shit.
Jaylen Brown, bro. Jaylen Brown 100%.
That's true.
I'm going to say, okay, 2 things. One, I don't think unless Curry has a bad game 6, Curry's a lock for finals MVP. I feel like, yes, Wiggins has had a good finals run so far,
Curry is the reason why they've won their game so far, though. The 40 burger, he had 34 in game one, which they lost. I think there's only been one game where he's been under 20, and there's only been one other game where he's under 30. So off that criteria alone, Curry's been backpacking him. He's had some help, and there's been in any article you read, it's not about Wiggins helping. It's not about any players helping. It's literally been Steph and where is everybody else? Because even in game 4, when they won, everybody was complaining about how bad everybody else played. So that's that. I think Curry wins Finals MVP if they win. And for the Celtics, in everything that's happened, yes, Jaylen Brown had a good first few games, but Tatum's also been consistent with his points. Jaylen Brown has started hot and slept through the rest of the game in almost every single game. I think their points per game are even still close, even with Tatum having a poor performance in the first game, shooting wise. And on top of that, Tatum's been an offensive facilitator the whole playoffs. So I think at the end of the day, yes, Jaylen Brown's had a great playoffs. And I think a lot of us think he might win MVP if they win. I still got Tatum as the lock for that team. I think what he's done on offense, I know he hasn't shot as well as people would hope, but he's still the facilitator. He's the one that's leading them in assists, leading them still in points per game. He's that guy. He's played extremely well on defense still. I think there's a lot going into this. So
the thing is about the Golden State Warriors right now is I definitely think it's still going to Steph. No matter what happens, just because of what we've seen so far. I'm pretty sure he's averaging, like, even with this poor game, he's averaging over like 34 points a game in these finals alone. Just like DiMaggio was saying, he's definitely back in the Warriors. However, he does have a lot of help. I think if we just were somehow to see Steph play these either next game or these next 2 games as poorly as he did this last game, then I definitely see it going to Wiggins because of the fact that he's been playing extremely well. When it comes to the Celtics, I definitely I agree to disagree with DiMaggio. Just granted the fact that, yes, Jason Tatum, did have that poor performance, and he's still probably pretty close points per game with Jaylen Brown and all that stuff. So I feel like it's a lot closer than we all think. I think in that situation, I think if JT does pop off these next 2 games, like we've granted to see him pop off 1 game out of the series, and I believe that Heat game it was 5 or 6.
yeah.
And then same with the Bucks game where he dropped 40, just straight flat 40.
No, it's 47.
Oh, just kidding. It was 47.
Oh,
Anyways, so I think if he has one of those games, and then either this game or next game, it's definitely going to him. But if he has another game where he shoots in a bad percentage and only scores like 21, and Jaylen Brown just continues to play consistently, then I definitely see it going to him too.
Fair enough.
Makes sense.
Well, hopefully, I have been rooting for the Warriors, but I do hope it goes 7 games because
Should we shoot for
there
it?
has actually not been a game 7 in the finals since the infamous 2016 Cavs Warriors, the 3-1 comeback.
Oh, wow.
Blocked by James. So it's been
Should we shoot
6
for it?
years since a game 7. I think that would be some quality basketball for sure.
We've seen a lot of game
Hey.
6s.
If I
Yeah.
make it game 7, if I miss it, no game 7.
So you're going to miss.
You
better
want
make
me
it.
to make it, D-Mod. You want me to
No,
make
I
it.
know, but you're going to miss.
Oh,
Oh,
shit.
shit. All right, bet.
Damn.
All right, bet. I'll take that then. I'll take
Call me Clay.
it.
Clay.
That's exactly what Clay's gonna do.
It's actually been 1 and 6 for the last 3 finals.
we had the
Bucks in 6.
Bucks in 6. Toronto beat the Warriors in 6.
And the Bron and the Lakers beat the
And
Heat. in
Lakers
6.
beat the Heat in 6.
That's a fluke.
Damn, 6 in 6 years? That's crazy.
All right.
Trying to break that streak.
Hold up 1 second. Okay. Well, hey, free agent predictions. Free agency's coming up. There's a lot of fucking free agency hot news. Hot news. Got a notification coming up today that Zach LaVine's expected to sign back with the Bulls for around what was it, Saya? 200 million around there?
5 years, 200 million.
5 million, 200 million. Bushy. What does that mean for the Bulls?
As long as it means we're not paying Rudy Gobert to join our team next year, I'm 100% for it. I definitely think he's a pivotal team or a pivotal piece of our team. Granted, this was like the DeMar DeRozan show this year, obviously.
Right.
But granted, Zach LaVine's been there longer, and so he's just a good locker room guy. He's a good dude overall. So great player and all. And it's just as long as we pay him and not Rudy Gobert, that's all I care about. And hopefully, it just leads to more success next year.
I get more fantasy news. It's been a thing for a while, probably since last offseason when the Suns didn't want to offer DeAndre Ayton an extension. It's probably been known that it's DeAndre Ayton's year to prove that he's worth the extension or not. And I guess the Suns don't feel that way still. They're considering like a sign and trade option. I've seen some things like maybe packaging him with Chris Paul for a superstar that the Suns want. I don't know who that could be. Could be could be Dame. Maybe it could be Bradley Beal. I don't know. There's some things that I've seen. Maybe get rid of him, sign Isaiah Stewart. I'd fuck with. I'd fuck with Isaiah Stewart as a Sun, right? I don't know how I feel really about the whole packaging with Chris Paul thing. I don't really know what superstar they could really be talking about to get. I mean,
hot take here, but I think that the Suns getting CP3 2 years ago now, I think it's stunted Aiden's growth. I think that Aiden probably would have been a more aggressive player. He would have played using his body because he wasn't as technical. And then once CP got there, he got so technical that he doesn't really go to the rack as much anymore. And that was one of his biggest assets coming out of college, was being a high riser.
Right. Mm-hmm. So that's the thing. But like he's got a pretty high market. I mean,
yeah.
I mean,
I've seen
pairing him with Kate Cunningham could be very good for Detroit. It could be good for us, getting Isaiah Stewart in Phoenix.
Maybe in a first round pick. They got a couple, don't they?
I mean, with Chris Paul having now 3 years left still on his contract extension that he signed last year, it's like, I don't know, the way Chris Paul kind of faded off towards the end of the playoffs when Chris Paul is really Chris Paul, and he didn't, he couldn't compete, or he couldn't show out, like he's supposed to, he turned already 37. That means if he plays throughout his contract, he retires at 39.
I think Father Time's getting the CP.
Right. Exactly. That's why, I'm intrigued. I'm really like intrigued about the whole like packaging him with DAs, because like what superstar could they be talking about? What superstar like
Donovan Mitchell and
Loki, D Mitch,
and there's I feel like there's a lot of people. Maybe Kyrie.
There could be
Kyrie Irving,
maybe
possibly to be traded.
Maybe Russell Westbrook, maybe, but Russ is also another old one that it's kind of like.
Even going back to the Pistons, there's been a lot of talks about DeAndre Ayton in a sign and trade, just like kind of straight up for Isaiah Stewart. What if you put Chris Paul, package Chris Paul with D Ayton, send that to the Pistons, and you get back Isaiah Stewart and maybe like Sadiq Bey and Killian Hayes, and you get a lot of like those young pieces to pair up with Booker to make a more
and
more
Mikal,
young core,
Yeah. That way you could still save money in letting go Jay Crowder, right? And you could possibly have Killian Hayes and Cam Johnson fight for that starting spot, or maybe even just bump Cam Johnson up to the starting spot that he really deserves, and keep Killian Hayes coming off the bench.
Yeah,
it's an interesting situation.
It really is.
That got some young pieces to offer. I mean, you could like maybe look at the
really,
Thunder,
right?
And Alex
Honestly,
Pokasevsky.
Yep. Yep. Shy and Book, dude, for fucking a CP return with fucking Josh Giddey. That might be crazy.
I think the Thunder have just so many young players that they can afford to give away one of those young players.
Right. Exactly.
6 years.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. But I guess there's so many possibilities that we can go on and on about what the Suns can do with this whole situation until it actually happens. So until it narrows it down, that's really all we could say is, this and that.
Dilly, a name I heard you briefly mention earlier was Bradley Beal. And I feel
Yeah.
like Bradley Beal has been at the center of like
You
trade
know,
talks and free agency talks and like who's gonna go get Bradley Beal? Where's Bradley Beal gonna end up? Like Bradley Beal is mistreated, like he's being wasted in Washington, but
I saw
year in and
a
year out, nothing
yeah.
happens with Bradley Beal, and
Right.
he just stays on the Wizards. Is this finally the offseason where Bradley Beal gets moved to a contender?
It
Like-
might be. See, I saw a thing on my likes page or whatever it is on Instagram of it was a Photoshop of him in the Suns jersey, and that's where I originally got the whole CP3 package deal with DA is to Washington.
Oh, okay.
I mean, what is Kristaps is what a free agent this year, so you get DA
Kristaps.
and you get
Big back.
and you get DA, you get CP, Kyle Kuzma, Kyle Kuzma wasn't bad for the Wizards in his first year, right? You still got KCP possibly. Bradley Beal with Devin Booker would be fucking crazy.
I think honestly, Bradley Beal goes to there's only two options. He signs for big ass money with the Wizards. And
Yes.
I think that's definitely, I don't think he's a type of player where he actually cares about the winning. He just cares about if he's getting paid. That's why he stayed with the Wizards for so long.
Right.
Just chasing that bag.
Exactly. But I think if there's one team that I picture him going to because of the guard play, I think he goes to the Mavs. I think that would be so much fun having Jalen Brunson, having Bradley Beal. You could keep Luka at like the 3 and just have them attack and have Luka facilitate. Because Bradley Beal is not like a.
You're not gonna have Jalen Brunson
No.
money.
No. Yeah, you can't. Jalen Brunson's gonna be worth.
You say that, but you can't.
So much money.
If you were gonna bring Bradley Beal into the Mavs, I would slide Brunson to a 6th man.
I don't think. Yeah, I don't think
But
that would
that's
be
what he is
good for
now. That is
Luka.
what he is
Really,
But in the
And-
playoffs, he wasn't starting.
Bradley Beal would look. I mean, Jalen Brunson is putting up numbers that Bradley Beal could easily put up with Luka.
Maybe he just wants a bigger role somewhere else, and he can go find that.
Basketball is way more positionless nowadays, but I
It
feel like
is.
Luka is always going to be the one on that. In that
Luka
offense.
plays the one, but he is listed as like the 3. That's what I'm saying. Jalen Brunson, if you let Luka, and I know money, financial things, a lot of teams figure it out. I mean, I'm gonna go back to football real quick. The Rams have like an endless amount of money with as many players they sign, especially with just this past off season. And the Saints do the same thing. The NBA is even crazier with their financials. They
got
be
like
flipping
luxury
things.
tax and hard
Yeah.
caps. And,
They have
yeah.
so many ways to figure this out. I think if you let Luka be the primary ball handler, which he is, and you just let Bradley and Jalen attack, and let them be primary scorers too, I think that court would just be insane.
So that means you're giving them Dinwiddie because you got to get rid of.
I think if you gave up Dinwiddie though, that'd be fine. I like Brunson more with his play style. I think Dinwiddie needs to have the ball in his hands all the time. I think if you let Jalen Brunson, like Luka can read the floor well enough and allow them to cut to the basket, screen and rolls, you can have Jalen. I just picture it working so well for whatever reason.
I could really picture Bradley Beal playing for the Bucks.
No, but going back to that, I don't think the Mavs are gonna want to put that much money into their backcourt alone. That's my thinking. Like if I were Mark Cuban,
Yeah.
who's struggled in not finding a big since Dirk left, I would be on the market for bigs. So
I mean, yeah, that makes
Ayton?
sense. I mean,
Ayton to
maybe
Dallas?
Ayton. I mean, maybe do that, and maybe you could do a package deal with that and have Aiden and CP3 go to the Mavs for a good amount.
But then what's the purpose of CP on the Mavs? Because he's gonna take the ball away from Luka.
And I get that, but that's like there's so many things. There's not a lot of good bigs that are on the market. I mean, there's like 5 great, good elite bigs. Other than that, you could honestly have a mixture of any big to play on your team. But if you can go out and get Bradley Beal, a star guard,
and pair him, that backcourt would be nasty. And if you can just have adequate bigs.
I guess that makes sense because JaVale McGee was on the Suns and they made
Yeah,
deep playoff
and they made
push,
it
you know what I mean?
like, yeah, like there's, I mean, you've
That man-
seen it with
that
the
man owned
Warriors
Shaq.
for so long. It's like they've never had a dominant big, but they had such a nasty backcourt that they won.
But that's also the Warriors, and we haven't seen anyone do that like the Warriors.
But I think they
Hey,
can. If you
so-
have Jalen, Bradley, and Luca,
Mhm.
that's so similar to having Curry is astronomical, but I think we're all can agree Luca is getting it. He's in that top 5 conversation as it is.
Yeah.
So you have Luca there. You have Bradley Beal, who's an elite scorer as it is. I mean, efficiency wise, maybe not, but if you pair him with Luca, he can definitely be more efficient. And you still have Jalen. I think that core would just be disgusting.
See, since we're talking about free agents, I just think that Jalen Brunson is bound to go chase his money because he's been on the bench for a contract and like a small extension.
How much
So-
do you think? How much do you think
How mu-
Jalen
I'm-
would lead for? Like, how much is he leaving?
Easily like 18, 16 mil a year.
I think so.
I think he'd leave.
I
for
think he
that.
gets offered 20. That's why I was asking. Because I
Probably,
think he gets offered 20 by some team in free agency.
But is that
Well, so
That's the play. I mean,
I was
Jalen Brown.
I was listening,
2 mil.
but like, could you see like a deal with DA, a sign and trade DA Chris Paul package to Dallas for Jalen Brunson coming?
I mean, Cy made a good point though. It just doesn't make sense. with
But-
CP going there. So
Right,
you have
but
to
another
sign
thing,
and trade
going with
DA.
what you said about CP taken away from Luca, if Devin Booker could be an all-star with CP, Luca is going to be an all-star with
But
CP.
I think Devin Booker has to find a way to mesh the ability of being able to score and assist efficiently, even if it's not 30, 35 points, 40 points, he can get an average like 25, 28 and help his team because there are sometimes he doesn't always be passing the ball.
And the thing is, the reason why Luka is so great is because of what he does with the ball in his hands. It's not like he's an elite scorer, but he's an elite playmaker.
Yeah.
That's why his team went so far is because of his playmaking ability. So
Yeah.
at the end of the day,
Yeah, Luca, he doesn't need someone to pass the ball.
yeah,
He makes the play
he needs
himself.
someone to score.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
that's what needs to happen.
He needs
he
you to
needs-
set screens and get out of the way.
Yeah, yo.
honest. That's fair.
So
That was a good run. Hey, Tice, what time is it, Tice?
Time for another
What time
installment
is
of
it,
the
guys?
Lunch Table Top 10.
Top 10. Who is it?
The show that's sweeping the globe. This week's top 10 is brought to you by that boy Bushy over there in the yellow hat. Way
Bushy.
Bush. What do we got this week on the top
So
10?
here you go. Lunch Table Top 10, Part 3. Got
4.
best shit talkers.
Best shit talkers. Let's go.
Kid
Alright.
talkers.
So
Let's
I'm
go.
gonna start it off. Maybe a hot take, but honorable mention here, Pat Bev.
Okay. Yeah, definitely.
Okay.
Mention.
Like it.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah. I'd expect him to be on the list. I'm excited.
But here's where things get a little dicey. You know, you can swap them up if you want to. But number 10, I got Jalen Ramsey. Jalen Ramsey at Florida State used to go into people's DMs. He'd find the guy that he's guarding, the number one receiver, go to their
Yep.
girlfriend's DMs and hit him up before the game.
Yeah.
Nobody's doing that.
Yes.
I was thinking Jalen Ramsey.
No, not even close.
Not even nobody's doing that.
No one
All right.
besides Jalen Ramsey.
Yep. Here you go. I got number 9, the man who does not cuss, Phillip Rivers. Phillip
Oh,
Rivers.
hell yeah.
Phillip Rivers be
Yeah.
Phillip Rivers be chirping
Oh,
with no cuss words.
All day.
That's a 90-yard touchdown. He's like 17 back up.
Dadgummit.
90-yard touchdown.
Dadgummit.
The people. All right, number 8.
Hey, you hear him?
The guy that basically only me at this whole table has had any affection towards, Tom Brady. Number 8.
Oh, fuck that guy.
Great shit talker though.
Get him out of the top 10. I don't want him in there.
That man was
Let's
chirping.
fucking go.
That man was chirping at Honey Badger the whole game.
Tom
yeah.
Brady just likes to shout with his feminine voice, bro.
That is true.
And kisses
Hey,
fucking
ask
kid
Josh
on
the-
the lips.
And kiss his son on the lip.
Ask Josh if you ever seen this before. Lombardi on the golf ball. Our number 7. Got a Stanford graduate here, Richard Sherman.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm top 1 in my craft. You're on top 1 in anything you've ever done, Skip.
You put me on. You put me on the starting
You
group.
addressed me as Stanford graduate Richard Sherman.
All pro Stanford graduate.
That's right.
Do it then, boy.
All right, number 6, Mr. Money himself, Floyd Money Mayweather.
Oh yeah.
That man be chirping.
Yeah.
All right, number 5, we got Steve Smith Sr.
Oh yeah. That
Gotta be on the list
Yeah.
there.
That is pound for pound the most like scary individual on this planet.
That man is tiny. He's still doing things like that.
Like there are more physically imposing people, but pound for pound, there is not more like juice in like every individual like square inch of anybody's body than that.
It's funny because you see all those like clips of him just being a dog on the football field. Then he's just sitting there. He's sitting there coaching the Panthers, and he's like, "Hey, should I start this man?" And he's right behind him.
Why don't you go ask
Yeah.
him? He didn't finish the game. Ice up, son. Ice up. I love me
Yes,
some
sir.
Steve Smith.
Yes,
bro.
sir. Goat. Right there. All right, somebody that we're all gonna love right here, coming in at number 4, Kevin Garnett.
Oh yeah.
Anything is possible.
I just remember his fight he had
KG.
with Dwight Howard when
Oh, yeah.
when KG was on the Nets and Dwight Howard was on the Rockets. Them dudes, like I think KG like headbutted him or tried to or something like that. I mean, that dude was scary.
Hey,
as
anything's
fuck.
possible when you got that man, especially when you got that gem on your neck. That boy, that boy Adam Sandler's dishing it to him.
KG, where's the gem, KG?
All right, here we go. Top 3 here. We got number 3, Larry Bird.
Oh yeah.
Little Larry legend action.
Larry Bird was a
Oh,
legend.
I'm sure
Yeah.
this boy D-Monch is happy about the 2 Celtics on the board right now.
Yeah, it's making me feel good. I just thought it was funny when if you watch the Lakers show on is it HBO?
Mhm.
Yeah, if
Yeah,
you
the
watch
Winning
it,
Time?
winning, bro. If you watch it and you get to the scene with Larry Bird and just how he shit talked, it is the funniest shit to watch because it's not like
Facts.
he just straight face whole time. And it's not like he says a lot of words. He's just like, I'm gonna fuck you up.
And it's
Yeah.
like the olden
I mean,
days
dude
too.
looks
So
like a
it's like,
plumber, and he's giving you 30 every night. Like,
yeah.
That scene in that show, like when he walks in for the first time and he's got the Budweiser can that he's like spitting his dip into, wearing like some farm clothes. That
Hey.
shit was so funny.
hey, these Celtics players back when the Celtics were a hard basketball team.
That's how we feel.
Little fish out of water. I mean, it's just being honest. Just being honest. Hey, just being honest. All right, number 2, Michael Jordan.
Oh, all right.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean,
Okay.
I feel like he should fuck his team more than anything.
Oh, I mean, that dude, that man hated everybody. I mean, he was a dog though, for a reason. All right, number 1, here we go. We get Conor McGregor.
Oh yeah, can't be anyone
Oh,
else.
I mean, it's
yeah.
got to be one. He's got to be
so
one.
many iconic.
Oh my God. Yeah.
Your wife is in me fucking DMs. Dress your fucking age.
Who the fuck
there's
is
that
this
one- there's
guy?
that one clip. There's that one clip where he's like talking about riding the village and just killing his whole family. Like, oh my god! And it's
Dude,
just like
there's
the
also
sad
that
thing
one
is-
clip before his fight with fucking Floyd Mayweather. Floyd Mayweather wishes him happy birthday. And he's like, all right, on the count of 3, I want everybody to say, fuck Floyd Mayweather.
literally after happy
Fucking
birthday.
Right
count-
after.
It's sad to
Yeah.
see, but like it's honestly like it was bound to happen. But like it's sad to see
Yeah.
because we're like slowly seeing like a little downfall in his career. But it's just like he's gonna be on the come up. No trip. But it's just like cool because like I think all of us can agree here. Like Conor McGregor is probably one of the single most badass motherfuckers when it comes to backing his shit talk up.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Like
Right.
in
Oh, yeah.
peak Conor McGregor days, he was saying the most absurd shit.
So outlandish.
But then
Yeah.
and then he's just fucking people up.
Yeah.
Like just fucking them up.
He literally predicted the Aldo fight. He literally was like, he's gonna come close. He's gonna come close to me, and I'm gonna hit him with the left.
And then like you can see like people filmed him pre-fight and he literally did the exact same move.
Yeah.
He
Yeah.
slipped it and then hit him with the left. With the fucking left.
Yeah.
With the fucking man.
That's a
I
fire.
like that one.
Yeah,
That's a
And then-
fire list.
And you can anybody else with
Yes.
any honorable mentions? I know you can probably
I
throw
have,
like
I
Prime
actually have,
Draymond Green
I
in there
kind
if
of
you
have an
want to.
honorable mention. I have a little JJ Watt honorable mention.
I like
Yeah,
that one.
I've eaten burritos bigger than you.
That boy JJ Watt's a shit talker, but that dude is just like a fucking like he's a motivator through and through. Make
Yeah.
that guy a football coach when he's retires. Like, oh my, I would run through a wall for JJ Watt.
I'd feel inspired if he was talking shit.
Maybe we're just better.
I'm telling you,
Maybe we're
bro.
just
I'm telling you, bro. I see that video of him saying that on the sidelines. I'm like, fuck, are the Cardinals gonna go 17-0?
Yep.
I'm not
psych.
sure if this one's like shit talking as much as it is like he just straight up inserts his will every game and
Tyson.
every year. Aaron Donald has a stat where he's choked out at least one person every year. So I feel like
Tice.
at that point you just have to. It's pretty intimidating. The shit
yeah.
the shit talk had to go somewhere.
Right.
One a year.
Hey, Tice. Cardinals went what 4-5 after that fucking JJ Watt video.
Yeah.
He also fucking tore like 3 muscles in his shoulder.
Yeah, it's
next
because he
game.
got injured, bro. JJ Watt
Yeah.
on the field, that's a W eater.
Dude, yeah, facts. He needs to be
Maybe
out
we're
there.
just better.
Dude, fucking that K1 Hollywood fucking connection, bro, with D Hop out is gonna be so fucking special, bro.
All right.
Kyler.
I got
Just
a couple
fucking
honorable
wait.
mentions real
Just
quick for the
fucking
list.
wait.
I don't know if these guys are shit talkers as much as they are just like super like cocky and confident.
Uh-huh.
But Deion Sanders, primetime,
That
Oh,
has to
oh
be
my
up.
God.
Ocho Cinco,
Yes.
and T.O.
Ocho was one of those where like it wasn't like he was just shit talking. It was more just like he was like, I'm that good. Like
Yeah.
I eat a
Yeah.
fucking McGriddle every morning. I'm gonna beat your ass.
He
Like,
was doing the most because
Yeah.
he could. Like
Yeah,
he
it's like-
was being who he could
I have-
afford to be.
the,
Like
the two stories that I most remember, well, I guess three. One of them is just like him getting shit on by Ray Lewis. That's just
Yeah.
funny, but like it is bound to happen. But my two favorite stories is him calling his coach at like what was it like 4:00 in the morning. He's like, "Hey, I'm open," and then just hung up the phone. Just hung up the phone. Just telling him he's open and hung up the phone. And then the most recent one that came out, I think he was on a podcast. He said he would pop a Viagra before every game because he's running on 3 legs. And he just runs faster than everybody else because of it.
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh.
okay, wait, there is one for sure. And I feel like every basketball, like every legend that's retired, they talk about it at one point during a podcast or like when they're asked about it. Tim Duncan, bro. I don't know how you can talk
Wow.
shit without
Yeah,
even really
wow.
talking shit like with one word or like gotcha or like good try. That was a good one. Like not even it's never eye contact or anything. He's just walking away. He just says, "Gotcha." Yeah, like literally, it's funny as hell hearing all those stories. It's never like he actually says anything. Like he just says like a word or two throughout the game, and it gets you triggered. Just fucks you up.
Right.
Yeah.
Tim Duncan was throwing it off the backboard. You know how
Bro, played against
Bank.
back-to-back
Yeah.
He dropped like 40.
Yeah, literally.
I think we also got to throw in Colby Covington, even though he's a cornball.
Yeah, yeah.
He do be talking shit.
I got that one. I like that one.
I mean, if we're talking more UFC, I mean, I guess Israel Adesanya be chirping too.
He do, but
I just
Not
think
like Colby
Adesanya is
shit.
just funny because like he literally like not funny, but you'll just see him in the ring. He's like, I'm ready to die. I'm like, okay, bro, I get it. Y'all are fighting, but like,
yeah.
Well, I guess since
Yeah.
we're mentioning some fighters, why don't we just run through our rundown of the Teixeira fight that just happened before we wrap it up with NFL. Trev, I didn't get to catch the fight, unfortunately. What did you like from the fight, and what did you not like
Dude.
from the fight?
Yeah, that was a fight for the books for sure. I mean, at no point in the fight did you know or could you even guess who was going to win. It literally
Yeah.
went from Yuri being on his back, getting absolutely pummeled, to Glover being on his back, getting absolutely pummeled, somehow staying alive, and then back to the feet, and then one gets stunned, and then one jumps on him, and they go for a submission, and it's just all over. It was the craziest fight I've ever watched in my whole life.
Yeah, that might be like
Wow.
top 5 fights ever, but I think I can honestly say that might be the greatest fight I've ever watched live. like single-handedly, like watching Yuri get like he literally like looked like he got knocked out, fell into Glover's arms, somehow stood up, got back on top of him, then later in that round chokes him out with 30 seconds left to win the belt.
No,
That's stupid.
That was definitely an instant classic for light heavyweight history because it was the first event in Singapore, and if you were watching the fight, you could hear the crowd going crazy, really appreciating that those dudes fucking fought it all on the line
Yeah.
and gave us that type of performance because that whole fight card was something to watch. It was full of exciting moments.
And it kind of brings us back because I know we were talking about it like the day of the fight, like after the fight finished. It's like it kind of brought back memories of John Jones versus Alexander Gustafsson because of like those fights were. I'm pretty sure both. Well, no, not both of them, but basically both of them almost went the distance. One of them did, and like it was just a back and forth battle the entire time. Like that was arguably the fight that people can like argue that John Jones actually lost was one of those because like I know that granted like John Jones's biggest rival was Daniel Cormier, but if you watch those fights, it was never close. Like never close.
Yeah.
And there was no chance of him losing like either of those fights. But like those Gustafsson fights, he arguably could have lost the very, very first one.
Mhm.
And it just that fight was just so good. That fight was just so good.
Speaking of that, and we had what was her name?
Shevchenko?
Yeah, Joanna Shevchenko retire for like 12, 13
No.
year career.
Shevchenko didn't. That was
Oh,
Johanna. What?
Joanna
Johansson?
Jacek. There we go. Yeah,
Yeah,
Joanna
yeah.
Jacek.
The alien head.
Retired. Yeah. Hey, she was a strawweight legend.
Yeah, that's true. But granted, like that was the downfall happened quick, which is
Yeah.
really sad to see because
Really,
of how
really
good she
bad
was.
way to go out on a spinning back fist
Right.
and
see that one.
getting put to sleep.
Face down on the canvas.
Face down canvas, spinning back.
Yeah, but I feel like we'd all retire after that.
I mean, it was just,
After having that type of career.
again,
and then
yeah.
just getting
It's just sad to see,
one
like,
knocked
granted,
out.
how good she used to be, and then like the last two fights we've seen of her was Alien Head, and then that one.
Yeah.
It's just tough. But then the other woman's fight was Savchenko versus what was her last name? I forget it too, but that fight was really good too.
Yeah, it didn't
It went the distance, and
Yeah.
people honestly thought that Shevchenko would have lost, but then it was a split decision, and she won two out of the three judges, and it was like by 1 or 2 points.
Oh yeah, it was the scorecards were very close. I think one was actually 49-46 Shevchenko. Then 48-47 for the other two judges. So it really could have gone either way. Shevchenko put herself in some bad positions
Terrible
during the
finish.
fight. So which was unusual from the champion.
Because I mean, granted, she's a great striker, but she's usually really good on like in all of her grappling, and then she just got like I think she only got taken down one other time in her whole career, and that fight alone, I think she got taken down like
Three or
four
four times,
yeah,
yeah.
3 or 4 times. Like nobody's ever done that before, basically, and then it like people can honestly say like it could have went the other way again.
Right.
You guys missed out on not watching those fights. Those fights were crazy.
Yeah. I unfortunately had to fucking work, dude. But
Real quick, I just got to say one thing. That Prochaska Teixeira fight, that hook to the dome that Yuri took, ate that shit, and then fucking just like recovered and got back up. That's one of the most impressive things I've ever seen.
I knew he
Like-
came, but I didn't think he had that because Glover literally threw all 200 plus pounds.
Yeah,
into that.
I think any other fighter is just getting fucking knocked out cold
Right.
by that, and he just ate it. Like, oh my, that was insane. It's the craziest fight I've ever seen, hands down. But, oh yeah, NFL. Got some NFL to run down, some award predictions. We've all been thinking about it here for this upcoming NFL season. I'll go ahead and kick it off with my prediction for league MVP. All right. I'm going to go with Derek Carr.
Wow.
I
Okay.
think Derek Carr, I
wow.
think he has the best assembly of weapons in the NFL. And I think that this is a prime season in a Josh McDaniels offense. I think he's going to really pop off with Devontae Adams. And I think Derek Carr is going to win MVP and Devontae Adams will be the number one receiver of the last three league
He's
MVPs.
got Devontae. He's got Hunter Renfro. He's got Darren Waller. He's got Josh Jacobs out of the backfield. He's got Kenyon Drake out of the backfield. He's got an improving O-line and a great offensive minded head coach. So
I think Derek Carr has the perfect situation for a guy to like put up big stats and get wins.
I feel like a lot of people forget that Derek Carr, it was like 2016 season that he was like
Near
an
MVP,
MVP
yeah.
front runner. And he took them to the playoffs. He got hurt. And then all of a sudden everybody was like, forgot that he was good. And yeah, like they had some down seasons, but like it's not like Derek Carr had bad seasons. It's just the team did not play up to expectations. So everybody dropped him again. So yeah, I could definitely see that one.
Oh yeah. Let's move on here to offensive player of the year. Trev, offensive player of the year.
Got you with the offensive player of the year. Give me Derrick Henry.
All right, come back.
Okay.
2 Derricks. Give me the Henry. Give me the King. He's
going.
Takes offensive player. I like it.
I think he's gonna have a fat load, like always. He's going.
Pause. Oh,
Yeah.
what? Hey, yo.
But he's going over 2K for sure.
I'm honestly surprised you didn't go Najee here because honestly, like I could 100% see Najee Harris having a fantastic year, like even better than.
Yeah, I can see it. He's lessening his workload though, so
Look out for Jonathan Taylor too.
Facts.
yeah, look out for JT. Well,
We got Saya, defensive player of the year.
All right. I feel like this defensive player of the year really shouldn't shock you by the way he played, but people are probably going to be a little skeptical of it. I'm saying Micah Parsons. The dude is just an absolute
Oh yeah.
Hank.
Oh yeah.
Being like 6'4", 220 pounds, playing the DN, playing the linebacker, getting out to cover backs. He's doing things we haven't seen linebackers do yet.
Yeah.
And it's wild.
He was arguably in the conversation as a rookie. Like if he wouldn't have won that award, he obviously won defensive rookie of the year.
Yeah.
But like he was in the conversation for defensive player.
Right.
It took a fucking TJ Watt that tied a record to beat him.
Yeah.
Like,
Granted that their draft pick, they could have fucking took David Ajabo or like all these other big name defensive ends that were or linebackers that were still available. They went with an offensive tackle, which just keeps the linebacker position open for Micah Parsons to just dominate and kill these guys.
That's probably what's happening in practice. Randy Gregory off the edge now too. So like,
yeah, that's a good pick
and they're getting some practice work.
no, definitely.
for sure.
Dimaj with the offensive rookie of the year.
It's funny because I'm looking at an offense, like everybody's talking about the receivers, like Drake London, Garrett Wilson, all these crazy. Chris Olave is probably going to have an amazing season as it is. I don't think there's a single quarterback that's going to be in the conversation. No offense to Kenny Pickett. He just probably won't. He probably either won't play the first year or he's not going to have a crazy season. It's just not going to be. It's going to an offense that just lost their starting quarterback in a trade. It's going to a team that just improved their offensive line. And Chris Carson is a player that has a broke neck damn near every year. Kenneth Walker is going to go off. They're going to go to their traditional run game that Pete Carroll loves. They're going to be running that fucking rock. Drew Lock is, I don't think the answer. I think he'll have a decent season. DK is an amazing blocking receiver as it is. He loves killing people. So I think with Kenneth Walker, he's going to steal the starting spot. He's the most explosive running back in that running back room. Offensive line got retooled completely. It's going to be Kenneth. I feel like everybody also looks at Breece Hall and how he's going into a jet system that looks real impressive. But it's got, thank you. It's got so much.
The other two are like first or second and third year.
Yeah, like Michael Carter's going in, and he had a good rookie season. They're going to be splitting time. Breece Hall is probably going to be like the running back in that system. He's not going to get the receiving work though, and that's the other thing. I think other people are thinking that Kenneth Walker is not going to be this great receiving back. He has the tools to make it happen. They just did not throw to him in college. In high school, he was a great receiving back. If you go back and look at his stats, he was a receiving back actually. So Kenneth Walker, I'm really excited. I think he's going to go off over 1,000 yards. I'm saying 15 total touchdowns. Might sound crazy in a Seahawks offense that people are thinking is going to be bad. He's going to be ballistic.
Another guy, real quick, I'm going to put on watch for offensive rookie of the year. I don't think he's the best receiver out of the class,
Christian
but if
Watson.
we're looking at position, like just like the situation, I should say, that they were drafted into, look for Traylon Burks to get a lot of
Ooh, yeah,
usage
yeah.
and a lot of like
Yep.
production this year. Like
I'm honestly
I don't think long run he's got the highest ceiling of any of
Mm-hmm.
these receivers or is going to be the best, but like you look at Jamison Williams, he's got Jared Goff and like an unsure system in Detroit.
Yeah.
Olave's got Jameis Winston, and again, kind of an
LASIK.
unsure
many
system.
receivers too.
Exactly. What's the other one?
surprised you didn't go-
Wilson.
Garrett Wilson. Yeah, I mean Zach Wilson. There's a lot of
No, no.
unproven
Drake
there.
London.
Drake London,
Marcus
again, Marcus Mariota. It's just if you're looking at like the situation these guys are in, and Christian
I was
Watson.
about to say, I'm
too.
surprised you didn't go Christian
Again,
Watson.
I don't think he's the best receiver in class, but you got the back-to-back MVP throwing you the ball. I think you're going to have some good production. So
I agree.
Hey, when you were saying that, what I was thinking Sky Moore.
Yeah.
Mm.
is
Sky
true.
Moore big over listed.
I'm excited to see Sky Moore. I'm
Yep.
just
I think-
excited to see a receiver wearing 24.
Yeah.
That's
Yep,
pretty
yep,
hard.
yep.
That's pretty tough, bro.
Yeah, he got put
honestly.
in a money spot.
Literally.
Oh, yeah.
It was a really
That's
nice
that's a deep ball
situation.
central there,
Yeah.
Exactly.
and he's fast.
Exactly.
Yep.
I could see him getting more reps than MVS.
Oh,
He
100%.
will be their number one receiver.
Number one.
Ooh.
Their number one receiver.
Whoa.
Travis Kelsey is a tight end, so not including him in.
Yeah.
He's going to be the guy that gets 1,000 yards. He's gonna be a
Wow,
less
wow.
Who's potentially in front of him right now? Hardman, Pringle,
and Juju.
and Juju. The MVS.
Pringle left. It's
Oh,
not-
so
it's Juju, Hardman,
maybe MVS,
MVS.
and then
But
Yeah,
athletically and how they fit the system, Sky Moore is a better route runner than Nicole. He is like there's a lot that goes into this, and I think Juju is going to be a great slot guy. Not 1,000, not over 1,000. He's going to have like 800 yards max.
yeah.
You have MVS, who throughout his career has had problems with catching balls. Like literally, he does not have the greatest hands. He's just a speedster. Miko Hardman, same thing, just a speedster. Sky Moore gives you all of like their capabilities and their great strengths and puts it into one player.
Mhm.
And I think Sky Moore is going to be that
And
guy.
his size is what like kept him getting from drafted.
That's literally the
higher,
only
you know?
reason, but it's been proven time and time again that
Yep.
short receivers can still play.
Mhm.
If you are in a system that is fit to you, he's literally going to be like Tyreek Hill. He has everything that Tyreek Hill has, and he has better route running than Tyreek.
Yep.
He's just he needs time to grow, but he's still going to be an amazing receiver first year.
Yep.
But
All right.
Agreed.
Bush, defensive rookie of the year.
All right,
Who
I'm
you
gonna
got?
go. I'm gonna go sleeper here because of the fact that I was thinking, Sauce. Why not Sauce? Or you got Thibodeau, or you got Stingley. I'm actually gonna go with the guy that
Yes.
actually got slept on draft night. Give me Nakobe Dean. I think he's gonna make a. I think he's gonna make a splash right away. He got slept on draft night, dropped all the way to the third round.
yeah.
I don't know how it happened, but he's in a system that he's going to thrive in no matter what.
Yeah.
And he arguably was the best linebacker in the draft.
He's
Yeah.
going, completely.
And with that new Eagles defense, I mean, come on.
You don't know what that looks like.
I think-
but you do have a good idea.
But
Yeah.
like I honestly think that it could 100% happen. That guy's a stud.
I mean, they've got playmakers. They've got
Mhm.
playmakers on every level of that defense.
Mhm.
Bradbury and Slay.
Yep.
Fletcher
Dean
Cox.
Fletcher Cox, Jordan Davis.
Jordan Davis.
I think the nice thing that like he's going into a system where the biggest thing with a linebacker of that size being he's going to be a weak side linebacker. It's easily as that. He needs freedom to roam and he needs freedom to not take on blocks. He needs to stay the fuck away from a blocker. Simple as that. He's going into a system that has two like 330-pound interior defensive linemen and Brandon Graham. You have did Derek Barnett sign back?
Yes.
They have Hassan Reddick off the edge. They have multiple front seven guys that can take on blocks and hold them and allowing him to roam. And that's going to be like the presence.
Oh, yeah.
And I also want to throw out that he was the leader of that Georgia Bulldogs defense. And so I think that's honestly going to give him, just because he's a stud, and he got slept on draft night, I think it's going to give him an even bigger chip on the shoulder than he already had. And so I think that him having that Georgia Bulldog defense underneath his wing, being that captain of the defense, I think it's also going to like put his mindset NFL ready right away. And I think that he's going to just come out being a dog.
Another guy, again, just thinking of like what the situation is and like what they're surrounded by. a guy who I think is poised for immediate impact is Kyle Hamilton.
Mhm.
Given the
I was-
secondary
I was
talent.
exactly gonna say that.
Yes,
They-
the
they've
talent
got so
around
much
that
around-
dude.
Yeah.
It's more like not what he's going to be able to do. It's what he's not going to be forced to do right off the bat. That's like
Marlon
he's-
Peters. He's got
Marlon Humphrey,
Humphrey.
Marlon Humphrey.
Deshaun Elliott,
Yep, Deshaun Elliott.
Anthony Averett, or is he
Avery, yeah,
Favorite.
Yep.
Chuck Clark.
Chuck. Oh my goodness, yeah, that is such a
Yeah,
stacked
yeah,
secondary.
Stacked secondary.
Not just that, you have to look at the whole defense, and they have playmakers at every level.
Yeah, Patrick Queen, Calais. They still got Calais Campbell.
Mhm.
Yep. He's old, but hey.
Still a playmaker. They signed.
Yep.
There's just so many things that the Ravens defense can do, and still with how they structured it.
Who's that edge rusher that like popped off for them last year?
So Jason Owe.
Oh wait, yeah.
Mhm.
Mhm. He's a
Jason
dog.
Owe. Oh,
He's a dog.
and they drafted the guy who tore his Achilles.
Oh,
David
Ojabo.
Ojabo. So hopefully he
Yep.
gets healthy.
David Jabo. Yep. I wanted the Cardinals to get him.
That team is poised.
Yeah,
Well, it's
Yeah.
just
And they
like
also
if they
got
go back to
Tyler
that
Boyd
old
in that
school
fucking
Baltimore
draft.
team, like if they go back to old
The
school
Ravens had
Baltimore
such a good
football teams,
draft.
and that team's going to be absolutely disgusting.
Yeah.
The Ravens literally revamped their whole defense and got their next Marshall Yonda on the same
Where
draft.
where
That's
did
W?
Smith go? Outside linebacker of the Vikings.
Was it the Vikings?
Okay, it was the
Vikings.
Vikings. I was
Vikings,
thinking
yeah.
Purple, and I was like,
Damn
did he go to the fucking?
It,
I was
he
like-
that was like I think a fake report that came out that he
Yeah,
was
because I thought
re-signing
he
with
was
the
going
Ravens.
back. and, like, I
Yeah,
forgot about that. I was like,
Yeah.
I was thinking in my head, like if they had him too.
Yeah.
No, I love those picks. I mean,
oh yeah. And Dilly, take it home for us with your pick for Coach of the Year.
All right. Last NFL prediction. Coach of the year. First year head coach. I'm going with new quarterback on the team. Young receiving core. Give me Nathaniel Hackett winning NFL Coach of the Year this
Hey,
year.
let's go.
No,
I like
he
that.
might have some help with Russell Wilson, obviously, but Nathaniel Hackett coming from Green Bay, under a great coach, and Matt LaFleur, being the quarterback's coach, for 4 or 5 years with, top 3, top 4, quarterbacks to ever play the game, coming into Denver as a new coach with a new quarterback, new atmosphere altogether, a healthy receiving core. It's just everything is in place for Nathaniel Hackett and the Broncos. It just seems so right. I think it's gonna be close. Brandon Staley, another AFC West coach, could easily be another contender.
So could Josh McDaniels, honestly.
So
We're
could Josh
talking about the
McDaniels.
AFC
Exactly.
West.
Right. Exactly. So it could
Oh, yeah.
really just come to whoever wins the NFC West or the AFC West. You could really take any of those guys, but give me Nathaniel Hackett.
He didn't win it.
He didn't?
Rabel did.
Yeah.
Yeah, Mike Vrabel won last year.
We'll just go
Yeah.
back to back.
Yeah, no, I think that 3 of the 4 AFC West head coaches have a legit shot of being Coach of the Year this year. Staley, who's not a first year, he's what, second year, third year,
Second year.
Yeah.
second year. And then the 2 first-year guys in Hackett and McDaniels. I mean, if my MVP prediction is correct, that you're hard pressed to not give a first-year head coach who has an MVP quarterback Coach of the Year.
Coach of the year.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah, but hell yeah, that's some solid predictions.
I mean, we have one more accolade if we want to go over it real quick. Comeback player of the year. Does anybody have like any?
Give me
people
Marcus
that they wanna
Mariota.
throw out?
I got
Give me Marcus Mariota.
Marcus Mariota.
Mariota.
I like that one. I really do like that one. I mean,
Him and
Really
I think him
quick,
and Drake London are gonna make a great first year pair. With Kyle Pitts coming back as a top 10 tight end in the league already.
Yeah, let me
Yeah.
add to that. Just as not even being biased as a Falcons fan, if you just look at the type of athleticism Arthur Smith's putting on the football field, he's got Cordell Patterson and a really explosive running back, Drake London, a 6'3", 6'4" receiver who can go up and get it. Kyle Pitts, 6'6", who can go up and Like, and we
You
and
got
they've said,
speedsters on
yeah,
the
we've got
fucking outside.
speedsters on the outside. We've mixed in tall guys in the receiving room. We the offense could be very dangerous.
Even without Calvin Ridley.
Another guy who I want to mention, I don't know if you would call this as much of a comeback as like maybe a late arrival, but I think that JC Horn is primed for a big season this year, coming off of the Achilles last year.
Yeah.
Again, I don't really know if that would fit the criteria for comeback player of the year because I mean,
Well,
he
with
never really,
with
did
with
play.
Stephon Gilmore leaving,
But,
the spotlight's shining right back on him. You know, once he went down and they went out to get Gilly, it's like, who's JC Horn really? You know, but now with Gilly somewhere, you know,
Number
elsewhere, and JC Horn coming out, that's a good pick for sure.
Yeah.
Feist.
Yeah, I think there is. Yeah. But I think the one player, and I'm feeling a little upset by saying this and maybe a little biased too, but I think Khalil Mack, honestly,
Yeah,
he
very
went
true.
down with injury.
Very true.
He had, honestly, the past few years, he hasn't been as dominant as people like run game still, but pass rush situations has not been that guy. He's finally going into a system again where he has so much talent, and an amazing team. I think Khalil, with the foot surgery, that foot has been nagging him for 3 straight years. With the foot surgery coming into that system, I think Khalil Mack, honestly, he has a 15 or better sack season. He might be in the defensive player of the year conversation again. I think honestly, Khalil Mack's that guy. He might be.
Let me just say real
Well
quick.
put.
These might be some homer picks, but a couple of guys to keep your eyes out for comeback player of the year: Zadarius Smith and Jair Alexander. Both missed basically
Agreed.
the whole season last year, and those are both. I mean, obviously Z isn't on the
Little
Packers
Devin
anymore,
Bush action.
but still, I mean, with how explosive both those guys are, they could easily come back and have all pro seasons. And,
Okay, hey, how about this? Listen, you guys need to
Not gonna be
hear
D-Hop.
me out. Shut up. You need to hear me out 100%. You guys need to be truthful, okay? Hypothetical. This is hypothetical, okay?
Yeah, I was back.
Listen, no injuries, right? Finish with a record above 500 at the November, December era where we have struggled mostly. You know, if we're above 500 with D-Hop out by the time he comes back, if he's a top 5 quarterback in passing, right? No injuries, whatever. He stays solid like he did last year, but the full season, can Kyler Murray be a comeback player of the year candidate?
No, fuck that. No. I mean,
Okay.
all love to him. I think he's a great quarterback, but I don't think that he meets the criteria of being a comeback player. Like,
Okay.
I don't think.
Eventually.
I think you've got to be off some sort of injury to be
Some sort of
considered-
injury or just having like not
Off
done
years.
anything in a while. Like
Yep.
Mariota, like completely could see that as being.
Yeah, give me a
comeback player of the
Mitch.
year.
Mitch
I think-
Yeah.
Trubisky.
Mitch Trubisky.
Yeah.
Yes, I agree.
That's
I
why
100%
that's why I have Mariota as my pick. I was thinking Mitch, as you know, when Sia was talking, I was thinking Mitch too. But yeah. I'm rolling. I'm still rolling with Marcus.
Honestly, I think
So,
Mitchell's a
so
great
athletic.
pick. But the thing I think is going to be separating them is the fact that Mariota has established when he was playing, he could do a lot more. Like Trubisky had to rely on the great defense, had to do all this. Like, I don't know. I like Mariota's system too. I think the thing that's killing with the Steelers is that I just hate their offensive line. It's bad. It's really bad. And I mean, Najee's a great weapon. You have Deontay, you have Chase, you have Pat Freiermuth, who I think honestly might be the most
Yep.
overlooked, slept on tight end in the league.
Yep.
He is a monster. But when I look at the Falcons, their weapons are just better. Their offensive line is better.
Yeah.
I think
day.
Mariota just has a better chance. And I think it's funny because they both drafted quarterbacks with Desmond Ridder and Kenny Pickett, which I think both of them eventually can start. But I think there's a lot less stress of having a 3rd round quarterback behind you than a 1st round quarterback behind you. I think Trubisky might fold under that pressure.
Very well.
That's honest.
Mariota and Trubisky both former number 2 overall picks.
Mhm.
Correct.
Interesting.
Yeah.
All right, so my pick here might be a little hot. For some reason, I feel like this is just a make or break season for this guy. Saquon Barkley. I think Saquon Barkley, you know, having great years, obviously at the beginning of the
Straight
season.
up.
And then he got hurt, right? And then that's kind of just been nagging him all last year. And he hasn't scored a touchdown since 2022. A rushing touchdown since 2022.
Saquon Barkley, man, like as unfortunate as it is, Saquon Barkley,
Mhm.
he'll be remembered in NFL history as
A
not
freak.
a great player, as a cautionary tale. You
Mhm.
know,
But here's
Right.
here's the-
he there will never, I don't think ever again be a running back taken top 5,
Mm-mm.
maybe not even top 10 ever again.
The thing
And
that-
he was taken second overall,
Mhm.
man.
and it would have been one.
Imagine, just fucking imagine if Saquon, instead of going number 2 to the Giants, would have just gone to the fucking Browns at 4. If he went to the Browns at 4, I know Nick Chubb is seen as like a top 5 running back. Saquon at this point in time would easily be seen as the best running back in the league, hands down. There wouldn't even be in the
Even the Colts at 5, didn't they
Mhm.
take Quentin Nelson
Yep.
at 5?
Yep.
Nelson, and
Yeah,
yes,
I
like
mean,
that's
like,
that's
you
how-
wouldn't
See,
have
it's a
had-
win-win either way for the
Colts have like
Colts.
4 serviceable Pro Bowl level O
Yes,
linemen
like
on their team.
Saquon to almost any other team in that top 5
Mhm.
range at that point, we wouldn't even be thinking him as a cautionary tale. We would have honestly maybe been thinking how great, if you have a great running back on the board, maybe taking him in the first round, maybe taking him early.
Right.
He might have been MVP.
He might have.
at this
Oh,
point.
there's
I
so
mean,
many things that could have gone right with Saquon. I legitimately think the one team that nobody wanted to see him go to, he went to.
And the reason I consider this a make or break year for Saquon, I don't know why I saw this a while ago, but I saw like a lot of rumors of him possibly getting traded. And so I feel like even if he does get traded, no matter where he goes, he's going to be in a way better situation than he is right now. And so I think that if it's not this year, it's going to come within the next few years. And I think Saquon Barkley is going to be that guy again. Like,
Just-
I don't know if he's ever going to be Penn State level Saquon Barkley again, but I honestly think that dude can become Saquon Barkley again.
Is Saquon Barkley the Derrick Rose of the NFL?
Yes.
As of right now, yes,
legitimately,
absolutely.
Yeah, pretty
If
much.
you
Absolutely
look
right
at the whole body of work, like, yes, he never won MVP, none of that. But you look at his rookie season, he was one of 3 players in NFL history to have an 1,000 and 1,000 season, 2,000 yards from scrimmage too, and he was a rookie. Like, I don't know. Oh, I have so much passion about this. One, because I'm a Penn State fan growing up, but 2, Saquon just had so much potential, and he still does. But I don't think we'll.
No, to add to the news of Saquon Barkley being comeback player of the year, as this is my last statement at least. I've seen a whole lot about Brian Dable's new system, and it really fitting well with Wendell Robinson, Saquon Barkley. Like, it seems like the offense is meshing well together, and it looks like he's going to be catching out of the backfield a lot, just
That's
as he
gonna be
did
nice.
before.
Yep.
So it might be a hot take, but it's very well possible.
I just it's one of those guys that kind of like D Rose. You just want him to see you want to see him do good.
Mhm.
Granted, like when D Rose was playing at the Bulls, we weren't good,
Yeah.
but he made us good.
Yeah.
The Giants aren't good. Rookie year, Saquon Barkley made him good. You know what I mean? It's just like I want to see him do good. I'm not a Giants fan. I hate the Giants. You guys obviously know I hate the Giants. They've taken 2 bowls away from my team.
What a go.
Tom Brady's dad.
Way to go.
Anyways,
Yeah.
I just really want to see that guy do good. You know, like I hated Penn State obviously because I'm a USC fan and we played him in the Rose Bowl. Sorry, but like that guy. It's just like, it's kind of like, for some reason whenever I watch his highlight tape, I kind of get what's his name Tavon Austin vibes. You know, it just
They have
he
some of
was
the
just that
greatest
dude.
tapes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was just that dude. Like the things he was doing before he got hurt, with the workload he still got in college, was just incredible. I mean, like he was arguably like supposed to be the next Bo Jackson. You know what I mean?
But like long term.
Mhm.
And that's the thing. that kills
And it's just, I really want to see him do good. I hate the Giants. It's just like Sai was talking about. What we're hearing right now sounds really good. It's just until we see it.
And I think the thing that finally like might make the difference, might finally like help, is the fact that I think the difference is going to be the fact that one, yes,
Dabble is back in there. He's gonna be creating an offense that actually works. 2, I think the Giants have finally addressed the issue of the offensive line.
Yep.
I think Andrew Thomas is still young and upcoming, looks good. Did Will Hernandez leave?
I think he's still.
Yeah, he's
He's
on the
still
Cardinals
good.
now.
He's on the
Oh.
Cardinals.
He's on the Cardinals.
They drafted Evan Neal, though. I forgot they signed like 2 starting level offensive linemen. I forgot who the hell their center is.
Their center is Nick Gates. He
Yeah.
was a captain last year and he got hurt. He like broke his
Nick
leg.
Gates
I think
is actually
he was
good.
young and up and coming and like he was like really liked amongst the
Mhm.
team. But yeah, he broke his leg. I remember. I
Mhm.
think it was on like Thursday Night Football, but he should be coming back.
So with that core of offensive linemen and just how the offense is going to be ran, I'm just excited. Like, I really hope he does well. I think we all can agree. Like, that's one player when you look at him, you don't hate him. Like, you can just, there's nothing to hate about Saquon.
Speaking of players who like didn't reach their potential because of injury and Giants offensive linemen, coincidentally, Billy Price is so sad, bro. He was so good coming out of Ohio State. And then at the combine, he tore his pec. I remember that. And he just like, he never did anything in the NFL. He was on the Bengals. I thought him and Jonah Williams were going to be a really nice duo. And then like, that's just really sad. I was really high on Billy Price.
He was going to be a dog. Like, I remember when he got drafted, was that the same draft with Frank Ragnow?
Yes, I think it was.
And
yeah.
I was thinking, I was like, those are 2 dogs. Like, they are going to play in the league for years. Frank
Ragnow looks now.
Yeah,
Frank
Frank
is
is,
so
that
good,
guy.
yeah.
He,
He might
I
be
think
the best
arguably
center.
you could argue for him to be the best center. in the league.
I think
Like,
him
you
and Corey
genuinely-
Linsley and Kelsey
Mhm.
are probably like my top
Like,
3.
you can easily argue for him to be the best. And I think if he ever Creed Humphrey too.
Oh yeah.
I think if he never got hurt, we'd be having that same conversation. And it sucks. So
Oh yeah. Well, all right. This is running a little long. Before we wrap it up, I just want to give a quick little shout out to our TikTok page. We'll throw a link
Yes.
for that in the description or in the comments or something like
It's
that.
Also, it's also added on our Instagram's bio. If you hit the link tree in our bio, the link to our TikTok page is there too.
Somewhere you can find that. But I'm going to be continuing the team record prediction series on TikTok over there. I will just be giving a little bit of closure on what we started for my NFC North predictions. Real quick, I got the Packers going 12-5 and the Lions going 9-8 for the final standings in the NFC North this year to be Packers 1, Lions 2, Vikings 3, and Bears 4.
that makes me sick.
Nice.
I know DiMaggio
All right.
is not going to like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, so stay tuned on the TikTok. We'll have those starting to roll out here in the next week or so.
All right. Don't
Anybody
forget.
else got
Hey,
anything?
don't forget. We need
Really?
70 followers, 50 subs.
Yes.
Get us there.
In
Come on,
person
y'all.
finale.
Do what you do. Get us there. We need Dilly here in person for the finale.
And then
Yes.
also like in the comments or even on our Instagram page or YouTube, just give us suggestions on like what you guys want to see. You know, because
Please.
our next
Please.
season's coming up. You know, we're cooking up some ideas in the kitchen, obviously, but
Oh yeah.
Please,
you know, just give us
Yeah.
input. Tell us what you guys want to see, and we'll try to make it happen as soon as possible.
for sure.
You guys want to see like like IRL videos of us like doing stuff.
Dress tight
You
stuff
know?
video.
Some boxing,
Some
Yeah.
boxing. I'm about to throw
some
some
boxing, some 1v1 boxing.
Whoa.
What?
Yeah.
What? Yeah.
Well, anybody else got any closing statements?
That's it for me.
Like,
All
sub,
right.
comment.
Yeah.
Like sub.
Like,
Yep.
comment,
Follow.
do your word, give us them follows, get Dilly down here. But for everyone at Lunch Table Sports, I'm Big Tice, and stay classy, San Diego.
We'll see ya.